What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to do a overview of my Jeep Wrangler. My first video on the channel was a overview of my Jeep and what I have done to it so far. And since you guys have seen me last, I have been doing more upgrades to this Jeep. So we're going to go over everything that I've done that you guys have not seen just yet. We're going to go over everything from front to back, or back to front of the Jeep, and then we're going to get in the inside and take a look at everything that I've done on the inside as well. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and jump into it. As you guys can see, I have no tire carrier on the back of my Jeep. Reason why is a buddy of mine, I will tag his Instagram in the description box below. He rear-ended me on the trail on the mud hole that you guys have seen in the past videos on this channel. So he rear-ended me, pierced a hole in my tire cover, and then snapped, kind of like cracked my tire carrier to where the whole entire wheel would move back and forth. So I took that off, cut the little wire that was in here that was going to the third brake light that was up here, and completely cut that off and ordered a new one, which was a DV8 off-road JKU heavy duty tire carrier, and it mounts to the body panels. You're not allowed to use your license plate down here anymore, and then it mounts to these hinges, which you will have to take these off, and we'll get into that in a whole other video when that tire carrier comes in. Now, it's going to be a heavy duty tire carrier. It's pretty nice, and I can't wait to show you guys when it comes in. Now, moving on, I have gotten a few other stickers, which that really doesn't matter. Nothing really new down here except one really cool thing. It's rusted out completely almost, but this is my new exhaust system that I have custom built myself. It's a custom straight pipe exhaust. It goes all the way to the cats, straight back, and curves right here out to this DC Sports silencer. They call it the silencer, but it's still pretty loud. And I'll do a at the end of the video, I'll do a test sound test for you guys, so you guys can hear what I'm talking about. Let's see, let's move on down the line here. So these rock sliders, the rock sliders are these, I don't know what brand these are. I don't know if these came from the Jeep factory or not, but these came with my Jeep when I got the Jeep. The first time I got the Jeep, these were on there, and I took them off. I had steps on there. I had a Red Rock 4x4 side steps on here for a long time, and then I gave them to my dad for his Jeep. And so yeah, these are, I put these back on here, and they will be in the future we'll probably remove those and put some body armor down there or something like that. So yeah, and then also, as you guys can see, I have no fender flares on the front or the back, and reason why, I had these Smittybilt XRC fender flares, and I cut those off of there. I took them off there because they were rusted out and they were getting all scraped up and everything like that. And I took those off of there because I have, right now I'm not at home. As you guys can see, I'm at my family's house up in Bowling Green, Kentucky right now. But I did get the DV8 off-road fender delete kit for the JKU 2007 through 2018 Jeeps. I will be installing that. We'll be doing a video on that after I get those installed. Now, moving to the front here, same thing. I took the fenders off, and I mounted light cubes right here on both sides. One side there, one side there. Now, what I did here, let's talk about it on this side here. These are the brackets that held the original fenders on, the stock fenders on. And this slipped up underneath the bottom cover of the, on top of the bottom cover of the fenders. And over the top of this was the actual fender itself, and this held the little orange light on the side of it. So I took those off. I will have to cut these off for the fender delete kit, which is not that hard to do. I just take a Sawzall to it or a grinder. But I put these light cubes on there, and they do have some water on the inside. These are for like 20 bucks a piece. I got 2 of these for around $40 at Walmart, and these were just something a little cheap I wanted to do. Pretty cool design I wanted to do, and they actually work really, really well, surprisingly. Moving on to the front here, I did get some new headlights a long time ago, and they do have some water residue in them, and they have water leaking in the bottom of them, holding in the bottom of them for, I don't understand that. Every single headlight that I have owned for this Jeep, they have accumulated water in them, and I cannot figure out why they keep getting water in them. And these are the Raxium headlights with the halos in them. The halos no longer work anymore, but the headlights still work. And I did replace the bulbs in those to HeadlightExperts.com H13 LED bulbs, high and low beams. I did change the bulbs out for those, and they work pretty well. Sorry for the background noise, but yeah, they work pretty well. I just cannot figure out why they keep holding water in them. If anybody knows what the how to solve that issue, please let me know in the comments down below. Nothing doing the front here, just all scraped up and rusted and everything. Moving on to the side here, so this fender body panel here I did replace. I had a buddy of mine, I'll tag his Instagram in the link in the description box below. I had to replace this side because it was dented up right here. If you guys remember me talking about that in my first video about the overview, it was dented up kind of like the hood is here, dented up, and we took the old one off, painted the new one, which is on there now, and put it on there. It was a pretty easy, installation, and it looks a lot better now. It's definitely cleaner than every other part on the Jeep, as you can see. Next thing I will be doing to replace this is the hood and the grille. We've got some exciting stuff coming in for the grille. Now we'll be doing a video about that. Took my jack off. That sounds wrong. Wow. I took my recovery jack off the hood, and because I needed to oil it up and wash it and stuff like that, and I still haven't done that, so I'm gonna be doing that here pretty soon. As you guys can see on the inside, there are some new stuff in there. I have posted that on my Instagram, and I will be talking about that later on when we get into the interior of the Jeep. We're gonna go ahead and open up the hood here. I'm gonna come back when the hood is opened up. I've done some new stuff on the inside, just 2 little small things that I think everybody should do to their Jeep. We'll be right back. All right, so moving on to the interior of the Jeep, I did clean this a little bit. It doesn't really look like it, but I did clean it just a tad bit. And now the newest thing that I have done to this is the alternator. Now I'm gonna lift this up for you guys here. The alternator is pretty dirty, and I promise you it does not look like that when you buy it. I'll move this entirely so we can look at what we got here. This is the Tough Stuff Performance 250 amp alternator for a 2007 through 2018 Jeep JK or JKU. Now it does provide a high output of 250 amps, and it comes in black powder coat or an army green powder coat, and I'm pretty sure you can get other colors for it somewhere, like on other websites as well, but I'm not entirely sure. Golly, how do you get this damn thing back on? There we go. Next thing I did replace my battery. It's the Superstart Platinum AGM battery, but nothing really new there, and we'll move on to the interior of the Jeep here in a minute. Cold air intake. This is the S&B cold air intake. I got it from Extreme Terrain, which I'll link their website in the description box below. That website is where I get pretty much all of my Jeep upgrades, and they have a really nice section and variety of different upgrades you can do for your Wrangler. Now this is a cleanable filter, and I have had this cold air intake for quite some time now, and it hasn't let me down yet. There was a clear plastic screen over, or a clear plastic plate or something over the top of this. Will y'all shut up? I'm doing a video. Clear plastic screen over the top of this to protect this filter, but I did have to remove that and actually broke it on accident. So it's actually, I'm gonna have to clean this thing a lot more often than I normally would. So guys, we're gonna move on to the interior of the Jeep here in just a few minutes, but I did want to show you guys this real quick. I've got scratches all up and down this Jeep. Now, it does make the Jeep look like it has been used, and I promise you it has been used. There are some major scratches on this Jeep. But we will be doing something about that here soon, whenever this coronavirus goes away, and we'll be doing something about that. All right, guys, I'm going to close up the hood, and we're going to jump inside the Jeep, and I'll show you guys what I did in there. All right, guys, so we are inside the Jeep now. By the way, I am using my brand new iPhone 11 Pro Max to film this, and it does look pretty good. It's shooting in 4K video quality, 60 frames a second. Anyway, so there are quite a few upgrades I have done to the interior of this Jeep. We do have an all-new sound system. This is the Alpine INE W960 HDMI display, and it has Bluetooth compatibility, CD. It's got a touch screen. It's pretty nice, and I'm not sure if it's waterproof or not, but it has got some water damage on it from on the outside of the screen, and I have had a few times where I've had the top down and I have splashed water in here, and it hasn't really gotten any water damage on there. Anyway, moving on to, I'm going to move down here to the transmission knobs. This is for the four-wheel drive option. It is very dusty in here. I apologize about that. This is the DV8 off-road four-wheel drive shift knob, and it has all of the 2 high, 4 high, neutral, and 4 low markings on there, which is pretty nice. And it has this really nice tire grip on it, which is pretty nice. And then this one for the automatic transmission, this is the Drake off-road automatic transmission shifter knob, and it also has that tire grip on it. It's pretty nice. As you guys can see down there in the floor, which is pretty dirty, I do not have any carpet. Now, why I do not have any carpet, I will explain in a future video, which is coming soon. But that is a interesting story, and quite a funny story on how I did that. So let's move on a little bit here. Nothing really new in the back of the Jeep, but to the front I have some new stuff. This is the Vector Off-Road Crossbar with the 67 Designs universal phone mount. Fit any phone in there. And then their GoPro mount here as well, which is pretty nice. And then I do have the Jeep Unique Baofeng UV 5R and the BF S112 microphone mount. This is for when we communicate on the trail, and it actually works pretty well. I don't want to use a CB radio. I did want to get one for a long time, but this I'm more familiar with these radios, so I wanted to try those and use those. And everybody that goes out on the trail with me has gotten one of these as well since I recommended them, and they haven't let us down yet. What else is there in this Jeep? Oh, let me hop out here real quick. I did start it up because it is pretty hot outside. So up underneath the Jeep, it's fucking dirty as all hell. But this is the Scar Audio SK V2 200.4D 4-channel amplifier. Now that is a mouthful, but this is a really high quality amplifier that is completely covered in dirt and dust and is in mud and water and shit. There's no water down there, but this is not a waterproof amplifier, but I have gotten it wet a couple times and it hasn't let me down yet. And with that amplifier in the front dash here on the driver's side, passenger side, and up on the dock here, I do have the Scar Audio TX65 6.5-inch speakers in those. And Scar Audio is a really nice audio brand that you can get for any of your Jeeps or any of your vehicles in that matter. And they are like a high performance competition style audio system, and I do highly recommend them. I do have some subs at the house, 2 12-inch subs that I will be putting in here. I just got to get a couple more components for that, and then we can put those in. Now, for the final part I wanted to talk to you guys about on this video is the exhaust. I'm going to let you guys hear the exhaust note on this Jeep. And I promise you it's loud as all hell, but I don't know how well this phone's going to pick it up on here, but it is really loud and I love it. So let's go ahead and get into that. Alright guys, so here is the exhaust. This is the best camera angle that I could find, but I'm going to start it up for you guys and give you guys a little test on it. That's all I'm going to do for that right there, because I don't want to annoy the neighbors. But that is the exhaust sound. It is a lot louder than that if I really get it up there on the RPMs. Alright guys, so if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.